Welcome back to part 2. This is Potion Shop. Hopefully I will add in a picture of what it's meant to look like. I want to say thank you to Big Things with Hallie. I have watched her videos for a long time and I just noticed that she gave me a shout out. So thank you so much for that. I love that she gives statistics of how much stitching she has done per month, as I really like seeing the numbers. I got a package with my threads for 2 projects yesterday from JK Supplies. I intend on putting them on thread drops when we have our power cuts next month, as the power's meant to be off for 2 days, and I thought, what am I going to do for 2 days? I can't stitch because I have an electric recliner and I won't be able to turn my light on. So I thought that I should leave those threads for those 2 days and I can sit on Dave's recliner because it doesn't need power. As I'm not in a rush to start anything new, as I started Diva this week. My son just came in for tea, supper, dinner, main meal at night. Depending on what country you're in, it makes a difference. He was sneezing and I told him that he's not allowed to dislocate his shoulder this weekend, because it seems that every time we have a long weekend he dislocates his shoulder. So he needs to be taken to the nearest city. So that takes us an hour and a quarter each way. And normally you have to wait for a couple of hours for them to put it in, depending on how busy they are. And to be honest, the emergency department is always busy. So yesterday we moved some of the exercise equipment. Wow, had to think about that. It was just as well Dave has a sack barrow, so I didn't need to carry everything. We just put it on the barrow and lifted it until it was at the balance point, and then I was able to walk with it. So it was just like I had my walker with Dave wheeling the other end. So we moved all that. We had a cross trainer, a Bowflex, exercycle and a vibration trainer. So I can't use them at the moment and neither can Brendan. So I thought there's no point having them here because they were here. They've been here for years. But I fell over the cross trainer in January and broke my arm. It was actually on the 1st of January, public holiday. So I don't know why I'm teasing Brendan about he's not allowed to go to the hospital. So that put a bit of a crimp in my stitching for a bit. But what can you do? So to be honest, that means that even in January, I wasn't walking. I was falling a lot even then, not realising it. I was passing out quite a bit too, and we weren't sure. So to get this far through the year and not really know what's wrong, yeah, it's a bit frustrating. Especially as my appointments that I was meant to have in November have been cancelled to December now. Yeah. I am still finding it hard to walk without something to hold on to. Vacuuming helps me instead of a walker. So Dave was happy to see me vacuuming the whole house today. I think I need a cane. That might be all I need to actually help my walking. We were in the garage earlier. I was using the air compressor to clean out the vacuum filter because it was full of dust. I was at the entrance of the garage and decided to sit on my walker since it was right there. It's a seat in one. and I rolled down the slope of the concrete at the entrance while I was sitting on it. I may have screamed like a little girl. Dave was yelling, "You have a break! You have a break!" Oops, I forgot about that. So at least I can laugh about it. Yeah. Dave didn't trust me after that, and he brought the air compressor to me. So the funniest thing was I still had the filter in my hand. Yeah. I slept really well last night after moving all the furniture, and I found it quite hard to walk in front of our new sheds because the ground isn't as level as it needs to be. And that's one thing we're going to have to fix. We'll have to either put a lot more shingle on, or we need to concrete it. I'm not sure which we will do. I don't think we'll be able to concrete it because we're going to have power cables from the house to the shed, and we'll also have internet cables because the office that Brendan sleeps in, that'll go there too. So yeah, so I normally sleep 4 to 6 hours. I've never slept a lot. That I really like that I can do cross stitching during the night because it's something really quiet and I don't disturb anybody else. I found a tablet in the spare room today while I was tidying up. I'll need to actually charge it and see what's on it because I think I used it a little bit in the beginning because it's a Levino tablet and I found it too slow for me and marking off. So I bought a Samsung Tab A, I think it is, tablet, and that's what I've been using. I've also got a Kindle Fire. It's a 10-inch one as well. So I use that too. So I have different patterns on different tablets. Don't you absolutely love it when you find stuff that you're not even looking for? But it's nice to have all the bedrooms tidied today. I just want to wash the walls and do the windows, and I'll be done until we move out. We got fuel yesterday. We got diesel, and it's $2.78 a litre here in our small rural town. Not sure what petrol is that, as I haven't had to fill up. I told Dave that he should use my car as it's cheaper to use than his diesel vehicle at the moment, as you have to pay for road user charge. It was quite interesting because I asked him how many Ks you get and how much it costs, and it works out at 20 cents per kilometre, as there's no road tax on diesel, and so you pay the road user charge. There is tax on petrol, and the road user charge, it depends on what size vehicle that you have. For example, a big truck, they pay a lot more per kilometre. We have found lately that our deliveries on the farm, we actually get charged a surcharge for kilometres. For example, we got magnesium recently, and the magnesium has just about doubled from last year. And on top of that, the cost of it, we have to also pay the surcharge for delivery. So that's quite frustrating. I need to start being careful what I say on my videos, as Dave wants to listen to them. I was saying to him earlier that it's a pity he wasn't videoing me when I was cleaning out the filter, because that would have looked funny, me rolling down the slope. I bought a Robot Litter 3, and that's an automatic litter cleaner. So it rotates, and as it rotates, it removes any lumps and dumps the lumps below into a trash can. So it was $1,300 for that. That's including delivery, and it's $130 for freight. Admittedly, it's $23 for it, but yeah, it's a lot of money. All I will have to do is top up the litter at the top and empty the trash bag of anything at the bottom that it collects. So that'll be a lot nicer. Hopefully Coco will adjust to using it quite quickly, because she's used to using clumping litter as it is. We used to use wood pellets when she was younger, and I had to get her used to using a new litter system with the clumping litter. And the reason why I stopped using the wood pellets, the pine, so it meant that there was no smell. That is one thing I really did like about it. But over time, because she's nearly 3 this year, I developed allergies to the pellets, and every time I cleaned her litter box, even though I wasn't touching anything, my hands started having welts on them. Also, the dust in the air kept getting in my eyes. It was only little particles, and I had an abrasion on one of my eyes for a bit. So that kind of put me off using the pellets for a bit. Someone asked what we do with our calves. We keep 115 heifers for replacements. We have kept 3 bulls as well, so they're Jersey bulls, to put over the younger heifers later on when they're 2-year-olds. And we kept 17 Wagyus. The rest, there have been a few that have died, unfortunately, just after they're born, because a few cows have rolled on them, or there's something genetically wrong with them. We had a few cows this year that have been born without an anus or without a tail, so they have had to be shot, which is really sad. Dave absolutely hates shooting anything. You can't send them to the freezing works. So the rest of the calves we have sold some Frisian bulls as well. We have a guy that comes every year, and he gets so many bulls. But the rest of them go on to the bobby truck. They come once a day. They have to be fed before they come. And we get between $25 and $35 per calf. They have to be 4 days old and nothing wrong with them. And they become veal, and they go to South America. Veal isn't something that we eat in New Zealand. I don't know what it's... Yeah, I think when I did a tour in Europe, I think one of the meals that I had veal. Or maybe I had a choice, and I don't think I picked it. I think I might have had a choice of veal, so that was in Europe, and I didn't have it because I know what they are. I know it's a cute wee baby, so yeah, I didn't eat that. I don't eat a lot of beef, to be fair. I don't even drink milk. I have a soy milk or almond milk because I'm lactose intolerant, so, and beef, I just don't like the flavour. I think that's some women are like that. That's why I'm always low in iron. So Coco's come to join me just as well. We can't see her. So I'm not in any rush to start anything new since I started Diva this week. That's on a 25 count, and it's 2/1 tent stitch. Trying to figure out what else I was going to say about. The disadvantage of my husband listening to my videos is he told me that I said that we got $270 per calf for the Wagyus, and I was wrong. Oops, we only get $200 per calf. So I obviously have to be more careful about what I say. The calf feeders that we have cost $700 each. We've only got 2 of them because the rest of the time we use the coffins that we made them out of pine. They look like coffins. They're just skinny. We made them out of pine, and they just sit on the ground, and the calves, we put pellets in them. So it was a cheap option, because I'm not sure I want to pay for too many calf feeders at $700. We've got 2 of them, and they can hold up to 60 or 70 kgs of feed. But normally Dave only puts 2 bags, which is 50 kgs, and each day they get topped up. The advantage is that seagulls can't get the feed, or birds, or ducks. Earlier today, I said to Dave that I heard the seagulls, and he's going, "What?" And he ran out to scare them off again. He was watching TV earlier on tonight, and I told him that the seagulls were back, but he didn't care. He just stayed watching TV. I have trained him well. While he's watching TV, he has wireless headphones on, so I don't have to watch or hear what he's watching. It is very seldom that I watch anything. Occasionally I might just watch the news. That's about it. I mostly watch Flosstube, or when I'm not watching Flosstube, I listen to audiobooks, and I have wireless headphones. I have removed the noise cancelling on the wireless headphones because I've had too many frights. Dave or our son comes in, and they automatically think that I can hear them when they come in, and then they start talking to me, and I have screamed quite a few times. It was getting to the stage that I'd turn around and see one of them behind me, and I would scream again, and I'd even know who it was, but it didn't stop the screaming. I was getting paranoid, and I was jumpy all the time. So I turned the noise cancelling off. I have Sony wireless headphones, and they're over the ear ones, and they're amazing. So I either use the Audible app, or I have CDs that I put on my iPod, and that is one thing I need to do this weekend. I need to put a lot more books on Dave's iPod. It'll take quite a bit of time. He doesn't really care what he listens to. He'll listen to anything while he's on the farm. It just keeps his mind active, because the jobs on the farm are quite repetitive, especially milking, because it takes about 5 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night. They do have the radio going in the cow shed, but that's about it. Coco's bothering me. You're all over me, aren't you, Bubby? You're not helping me. I will have to think about what else I'm going to talk about, because I'm running out of ideas. Obviously, I've talked too quickly, and I think I probably do talk quickly. I have sped up the videoing of my stitching this time, because I had over an hour of stitching and I got it down to 45 minutes or something. I think I did it at 1.5 speed, something like that, because I'm only doing fill-in of the black at the moment, because there's still 5,800 of black remaining on this piece, Patient Shop, and I really need to work on some each time I work on it, because if I don't, I'm going to be left with the black at the end and I'm not going to want to do it. Even though it's quite exciting to see, you can tell with some of the items, they stand out more with the black around them. And you go, oh, there's a vase, or vase, however you pronounce it. It's like tomato and tomato. All these words in the English dictionary. We have a Filipino worker, and he has been with us the whole time we've been here, so that's 15 years, and his English is still very interesting. When we were in the vehicle, and you have it connects to the car, the radio, hands-free, because it's illegal here in New Zealand to drive while talking on your phone. Anyways, I hear him when he rings up Dave, and I'm always shaking my head and going, I had no idea what he just said. He speaks quite quickly, and it's all monotoned, so I find it really hard. But Dave's used to him. Leave my shoelaces alone. She is still trouble, isn't she? I will come back after oh, no. Yeah, I think I will come back. I'll think about some more things, and I'll listen to what I've put. And I'll go, oh, this is hopeless. I have to redo it. That's what seems to happen all the time. That's why it takes me so long to do my editing. But I'm not sure I'll worry this time. I'm not sure if people really care. But I'm absolutely amazed how many subscribers I've got. After the shout out from Hallie, I have picked up more today. So it's just amazing. I think New Zealand living is quite a bit different. I even had a comment from a New Zealander, and we were in the same country, but it's quite different rural compared to in town. And I have since I was a child, I was brought up in the country, and I've only spent a few years in Timaru, and then because I used to work in Timaru, and then we got married and we started living out of Geraldine eventually. well, we did live in Tamika for a while because we had our own house there. But when we were up, we're in the foothills of Mount Somers, or Mount Hutt. It was Mount Somers was the area. When we lived there, we decided it was too much of a hassle keeping an eye on tenants, and there was always drama with tenants, so we decided that we wouldn't rent the house out any longer, and we sold it then. The only thing I miss about having the house is that there was a big copper, and you put wood underneath the copper and you were able to boil like nappies and things like that. And I think that would be perfect for dyeing now. And other things. But yeah, dyeing would be really good. So that is probably the only thing I ever missed. I used to boil nappies every few months. We used to use nappy sand most of the time on the nappies because with our children I use cloth nappies, and I never used disposable ones. I'm not even sure. I'm sure they were around then, but I think the cost was too high. So yeah, they had cloth nappies. And I want to thank Jodie for sending me images of what she's working on. Her stitching is absolutely amazing. It is gorgeous, her piece. She's working on a cardinal piece from the Cross Stitch Studio. And wow, I always love seeing other people's stitching. So if anybody would like to email me what they're working on, I'd very much appreciate it. I try to comment for everybody that sends me a comment because I think that's the only polite thing to do. So I need to catch up from yesterday. The comments from yesterday, I haven't done that quite yet today. I have been quite busy with cleaning up the room that we had all the exercise stuff in, and I'm a lot slower than I used to be. I intend to wash walls and things in the next week. Dave is saying that he does less work when he's working than at home. He reckons I'm a bit of a slave driver. Oops, never mind. He'll get over it. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. Dave has just left to feed the calves for the second time today. I was laughing about the fact that he was going to go feed the seagulls. He was telling me that they'll sleep. It's still daylight here, so I'm sure they'll be around. The funniest thing about the seagulls is that he took his gun out with them earlier on. He was going to have try and scare the seagulls off. But as soon as you walk out of the house and you go even down the driveway, they have seagulls flying in the air all the time, and they start alerting that somebody's around. They start an awful lot of noise, and then all the seagulls fly off, so you don't get a real chance to scare them off at all. So it's been a beautiful day today. It's 22 degrees Celsius inside, and I have had windows open, so that's really nice. And it's meant to be hotter tomorrow, and then it's meant to cool down a wee bit. Our production for the herd has dropped a little bit in the last couple of days, and I think that is because it has been cold. They have been fed more. We always take that into consideration of how much they get fed. Is if it's cold, they get fed more because they have to keep warm and produce milk. So let's hope it keeps warm. It's meant to rain in the next few days as well, and I'm sure we need it. But the problem is that it cools down the ground level, and you don't have as good a grass production, so that impacts everything again. We have a relief milker. He is on $30 an hour, but unfortunately he does 30 hours a week. Unfortunately, Coco's rubbing against my phone. Unfortunately, he has decided that he is going to look for a full-time job because his daughter is about to leave school. So family support that they get for her, they won't be getting. So he wants a few more hours. Unfortunately, 30 hours is the most that we can employ him. And it's not viable to have another full-time worker. And it means that we'll have to start looking for another relief milker. And finding staff is not that easy. Even locally, the restaurant is an Indian restaurant, I think. No, it's not. It's a Mexican restaurant. So I had to think about that. The Mexican restaurant is open short hours because they can't get enough staff. There is a real shortage of staff in our town. And it's not like we can get overseas staff like we used to be able to get, because there's nobody coming into the country because the government won't give out work visas, which is unfortunate. You'll be wondering, why is our fuel so expensive here, like diesel? And the reason it's so expensive is it has to be imported from overseas, because we used to have a refinery in the North Island called Marsden Point, and the government have closed it. The government are concerned about emissions, so there's a lot more taxes. I see a seagull. I don't hear them, but so Dave's fallacy of the more asleep is wrong. So emissions tax is going to hit farmers again. They don't seem to care that the dairy industry produces so much money in the country. We feel in New Zealand, the rural community feel that dairying is a dirty word here, and we feel very underappreciated. I can understand why there is so many suicides in this industry, and I feel for anybody that is feeling very stressed. There is a lot of stress because there is a lot of bills, and I mean, we handle it fine because we've been doing it long enough. But anybody new to the industry, I definitely feel for anybody. It's long hours, you work hard, and then you see on the news all the time from the government, unfortunately, they're always derogatory comments I have stopped watching the news because it is too depressing, and all we feel at the moment is that everything is increasing. There isn't enough workers in New Zealand, for sure. There isn't even enough doctors, which is really sad. You know, people are really shocked that they haven't found out what's wrong with me yet. And half the problem is that I just can't get any appointments anywhere. It's like when I was vomiting for so many weeks, I didn't even go to the doctor because I only went when I was so dehydrated and I was on a drip, because it's just so hard to get in. and I don't see that improving. I normally try to be a lot more upbeat than this video has been, so I'm really sorry. I hope it's not too depressing. But I am grateful to all my cross stitching, and I keep the courier driver in a good income with all the packages that I get. For example, we got another package yesterday and Dave was going, "Really? Another one? Where are we going to put it?" So I thought I would put all my tubs, all my cross stitch pieces into tubs, but it didn't fit that way. I filled up one tub straight away, and then I filled up the second tub, and I'm thinking, I really need another one. So I've been teasing Dave, and I said the problem is that the tubs aren't big enough. I'm not sure that is the case. I have 23 active whips, something like that. I thought the idea is I'd have a better rotation. I could stitch on something, then put it in the other tub, and I know I've worked on it, and then I can keep it in that tub until I have my Flosstube. But yeah, I'm not sure how well this will work, since my tubs aren't big enough, or I have too many projects, and I've still got more pieces that I want to start next year. You can see just at the very top of the screen that I've got a needle minder that arrived this week. It's a cauldron. I thought it was perfect for this piece, the potion shop, and it's from Denkai Designs, and it's amazing. It's a metal piece. I'm meant to be getting needle minders from Autumn Lane Stitchery because I bought the needle minders for their piece. I think I actually bought two because I didn't know what fabric I was going to use, so I will show you those when they arrive. At the moment, any packages from America are taking over a month, maybe longer, and the tracking doesn't work. I've had even a month after they have arrived, the tracking has still said they're in the system. So yeah, the tracking is hopeless. But I do buy a lot of things from America. I'm not sure I'm going to buy that much from now on, for the simple reason that our dollar has dropped from the US dollar that much, and it's probably not viable when you have to pay so much for postage. And I'm not sure I need anything more. I have got so many pieces. I've got so many pieces kitted up. I don't even know everything that I have. I just got my anchor threads last week or the week before for my Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. So hopefully next year I'll actually start it. I decided that I would get the anchor threads because it's a different thread than what I normally use with the DMC. I am sure I have bored you to tears with this video. I have only a few more minutes. Not sure what else I should say. I'm not even going to edit this. Normally I edit my voiceover, and normally I do it a couple of times. But after my issue last time, I'm not sure I'm going to do that this time. I cleaned out all the cache in my phone for the app that I use to do my video editing, because I thought maybe that was the reason why I had so many issues last time. I'm not sure, but it just wouldn't save, and then it crashed twice, maybe 3 times. So I had to do the voiceover each time again. If I crop anything out of the voiceover, if I go, oh, I could do better than this, I have to redo it again. It seems to, because it crashed. So you'll get this raw this time. The only difference is I've sped it up a little bit because it was over an hour long. I was just stitching and people came in several times. So it's just as well I didn't talk when I was stitching, because people just come and talk to me because Dave's home, which is really nice, but it doesn't help when you're videoing. I said to my son when he came in at lunchtime, and I said, I'm videoing. And he goes, it doesn't matter. And he goes, you'll just voice over it anyway. So obviously they know what I do. I did say to Jessica, I think for our hashtag for our Christmas start on the 1st of December should be anything Christmas. Hashtag anything Christmas. So I need to check and see if that has been used, and hopefully we will set that up in the next few weeks, even in the next couple of weeks, to have that all sorted. And it'll be amazing if anybody wants to add in an existing Christmas piece they're working on, or something that they start. Either, not really fussy. It's just really good to see what people are stitching on. That's another thing I could do. I could do hashtag stitchingaddicted, and if anybody wanted to add pictures in Instagram, that's something I could look at doing. I feel that I'm forever learning something new with Flosstube. Well, thank you very much. I will just add any music. I think Dave just came back. Dave?
Yeah.
Seagulls are around.
No, it's no seagulls, darling.
There is seagulls. I've seen them flying out the window.
So they're all out at sea.
Oh, they're out at sea. Say hello.
Hello.
So that's the other half, the half that works well. He's just got in his overalls off the line. He had to wash them twice because he obviously overfilled the washing machine. Thank you. Bye. I did set up the hashtag, so if you want to send me a photo, it's hashtag stitchingaddicted in capital letters. Thank you very much for watching this. I really appreciate you spending the time with me. Have a wonderful stitching week, and I'll see you next week for my Flosstube update. Thank you. Bye.